Hey everyone, welcome back. Our last guest is a classically trained songstress from New York City who is an alum from the New School Jazz Conservatory and the famed LaGuardia Arts. She's performed worldwide at iconic venues such as Kennedy Center, Carnegie Hall, and that's just to name a few. And well, she's the first Afro Latina to serve as artistic director for the landmark jazz club, Minton's Playhouse, with the inauguration of Launch TV's Latin Plus channel approaching. Joining us to share more, we welcome friend to the show, Jenn Jade Ledesna. Wow, you've been pretty busy, all things considered.
Yes, it's been interesting to go inside and to find a lot of I guess the seeds that have been planted subconsciously throughout all this, time where we've both been busy little bees and hummingbirds going about, and then you're anchored and it's like a laser and just things have been coming about and erupting basically.
No, I love it. I love the metaphor. I love it because obviously, we do internal work together. And so that being said, it makes sense, right? That you've basically honed in and despite circumstances have been able to really come out of the cocoon, for lack of a better word, right? Bigger and better, right? And stronger because not only are you coming out with your performances, which I know we're going to talk a little bit about that, but now you're this artistic director making history. And I might add, we're acknowledging you on Women's History Month as the first artistic director for Minton's Playhouse. That is so dope.
I gotta tell you, Rhina, as a native Bronxite, it is an honor to take full reign and bring in and satiate our terrain as New Yorkers and such, and America's art form, which is jazz music. And the crazy thing is the timing of it is wild because obviously we can't go tour anywhere because no one can go anywhere in essence. It's a rare time when all intergenerationally all the great cats are pretty much all here, just in this gumbo, so it's a beautiful thing where you have all these different ages and different schools of thought coming together on the same stage because we're all here and not simultaneously working somewhere else. So you have just the pick of the litter in essence. Super crazy.
No, that's wonderful. That's like a blessing, right? And so like you said, that's kind of like a nice little picking field that you have of a garden, right? So yes. That being said, so with Minton's Playhouse being accessible to people publicly, what are the regulations? I know that the seating is what, at 50% capacity?
I think it's at 35% now for the incidental dining and the music laws. We can't charge a cover. It's been like this for quite a bit, and all of my colleagues and such have been doing Cash App, PayPal, so that people can do these virtual tips. What the owner Rafael Benavides has put in is a music donation, so that people will have an incentive to actually help to keep the club alive as well.
Got it. And so let's talk about your new launch that's about to take place on March 19th.
Yes. So I was doing music on the inside on a Sunday night, and one of the guys, Richard Miller, he's a Brasileiro guitarist from the West Coast, because he's out, in Cali right now, and he's like, Jennifer, would you be interested in maybe being the inaugural artist to start off this launch channel, for this global network streaming platform? And I was like, well, tell me more, and it's funny, Rina, because I was thinking, how does one because we're all boxed. People try to box us as artists when we can do so many things. So I was like, well, why not focus on a specific kind of music in honor of that music and use that platform to teach others about Afro-Latino music? Because, and they asked me, what do you want to name the channel? I said, well, let's do Latin Plus, because plus can encumber anything, basically right. Within the Afro diaspora after this Afro right. Descent. I always think about the triangle trade and such. So in that regard, I'm going to be doing old throwbacks to, in honor of Johnny Pacheco, Fania, Celia, things like that. I want to put that together. Benitez, how do you say? Benito Gonzalez is going to be there with his trio, Essie It, and Francisco Mela, que cubano, on drums. Erwin Hall and Steve Carrington are going to be the saxophonists on it. So we're going to basically do an hour power set in regard to like what it is innately to our music, the tradition of our music as jazz, Afro, Latin jazz here in New York City.
That is so awesome. And it's being led by you.
Yes. And they asked me to be also to help be a booker on the launch side for the Latin channel, which is really cool. So now I get to like think about like, oh, who's out here? Let me look. Let me go and like, let me troll people. Let me see what's up. You know, so I was like, let's find some, you know, fresh blood, bring it all together, you know, excellence.
That's a wonderful experience. I know I personally enjoy discovering, right? I call it discovering because it's like you're providing a platform for somebody to go and kind of like be with somebody who they would normally be sharing a stage with.
See,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, Rhina, it's interesting you said it because the other thing is this, in terms of branding and boxes, if music is from the spirit and the heart, and the endeavor is to receive that transference of the gift to heal the community as just humans giving to others, you know, and calling forth the past, the present, and that whole continuum that exists. It's not about a genre. It's about the source of the heart. And you know, sis, like, you know, we do the meditations and stuff. Like, it's really about that synchronicity in the endeavor of what it is to unite us all as, you know, as humans. And it's cool because, you know, people are like, well, you know, are you a jazz singer? I'm like, well, what does that mean? That's just the erudition of what one studied harmonically in essence and paying homage to what came before. But yes, it's also quality of what's going to be coming out of the breath. And with this particular position, people are like, well, I don't really play jazz. I'm like, honey, if it's from the heart and it lives within you, share it. Be yourself on stage. And a lot of my artists have been saying, I can be myself. I'm like, yeah, be yourself. So I don't know, Rhina, but it just feels so, je ne sais, you know, it's just like, you know, I love how I just got a phone call, even though I pressed the little moon thing. I'm new with these phones.
It's all right. Our time is up anyway. Our time is up anyway, but truth be told is you summed it up all lovely. Because right now what you just shared with everyone is like, it comes from your soul, baby. It's all about your soul. And so the fact that you're there picking the pick of the garden, right? You're in the garden of diversity, of inclusivity, and then of course you're playing yourself. And so congratulations on all of it, all of it.
Thank you, sis, so much. And I love you so much. You are the queen. You know, I adore everything that you do and represent. You're a real one.
I'm gonna do the dance with you. Because, you know, because we're sisters like that. Porque te quiero mucho. You rocking it, mama. All right. Oh, I got to take us to break, though. Yo, we're going to take a quick break, but then when we return, Jenn Jade, guess what? She's going to perform for us. That's right. Don't go anywhere.